Welcome back to another Gunpla review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the high-grade Universal Century GOK mass production version. So here it is, just out of the box. Haven't done any panel lining or anything. Haven't cleaned up any of the nubs, which is what I do with usual kits. I just build them, no nub cleanup or anything. And this is really nice. This is one of the first high grades. This released all the way back in 1999. So it is a classic kit, but honestly, it still holds up, and I don't really think it needs a revive. Starting off here, you can see they've perfectly captured the design of the GOK. Has all the kind of like goofiness it had, and also a bit of like the threatening kind of nature of the GOK. Just kind of always looks angry, you know, that kind of mono eye. Okay, so it's very nice. Proportions are perfect. See in the back, we have little propeller kind of tank things. Not propellant tanks, because I don't think it uses thrusters. It's really cool they actually molded in the little turbines or propellers on the bottom of the feet, which is really nice detail. I love that. And you can see here, the color separation on this thing is perfect. There are only two stickers. One is for that little cockpit hatch right there, and the other is just for the mono eye, which, like, even the newest Xeon kits, like Char's Zaku Revive, even that has a sticker for the eye, so you can give that a pass. The cockpit here, though, definitely would have preferred for that to be color separated, but it is a 1999 kit, and the fact that everything else is already in the color it should be is really impressive. You can see here that the detail, there isn't too much. It's supposed to be going for the anime accuracy, but we still get the nice layered vents here and here, and the eye is like a separate black part inside there, and they even molded in the little missiles at the top, all in separate black part, the same part as part that the eye's on. And then moving down here, we get a little bit of a panel line on the waist. This, which I think is supposed to be a stand port, but I don't think it's actually 3mm. It's not deep enough, so I don't know what that's really supposed to be. We have nice detail on the arms, or these cool pipes, like they usually are on the GOK. The seam line here, they've disguised as an actual panel line, which is like something you wouldn't expect for them to be caring about seam lines, you know, back in 1999. And that's only really a feature that like some real grades and master grades have, where they disguise that. Like a lot of modern high grades don't even do that. Also, something I still notice is no nubs are visible from the front, which I think is really commendable that they've hidden them all to the side or the back. Actually, no, you can't even see nubs on the back besides like the feet. Yeah, the nubs are really just on the side, and yeah, they're not the greatest, but they could be a lot worse. And again, this is with no cleanup. You could probably easily clean those up if you just use like some sandpaper. Although it is a darker color, so it could be a little bit more tricky, but it's still really not that bad. And the only seam lines we have on here, you'd think there'd be more, but they've been disguised as panel lines. The only actual ones are just here on the top, and you can see there are a few more nubs. But honestly, really isn't that bad. You know, these big chunky legs, you can see a little tiny panel line there. Feet have a bit of nice detail, very round. And on the back, you can see it has this little separate part here, which has a bit more paneling detail. Same with these. And the feet, we've already seen propellers. So yeah, so it's like not a lot of panel lines, but that is a whole kind of high grade thing where it is going for more anime accuracy, and they have definitely nailed that. Like, this looks like the GOK from the original 1979 anime. These are, of course, the mass production colors. They also released a Char's version. I don't think they ever released anything like the Xeon Remnants deco from Unicorn, and I love that, so really wish we actually got a kit of it. But if we did, it'd probably be P Bandai. So not that really big of an issue, I guess, because no one would be able to get it anyway. As for accessories, we don't have anything that isn't already on the mobile suit, so let's just look at the weapons that are built into it. So first of all, we have the missiles I showed off earlier. These are very nice, color separated, even have a little bit of detail. We then have the rest of the weapons, which are all just on the arms here. So first of all, we have the iron nail, which are these little claw bits, and then moving them out of the way, and yeah, these are individually articulated, which is very impressive. And here we have the little beam shooter thing. I don't remember what it's called, but we do have that molded in there. More very nice detail. Besides that, there are no accessories, no like stand adapters or anything, which I really wish it had, is because it can't fit on a stand. And I think all GOKs need stand compatibility, just because, like, it's an amphibious mobile suit. It should be, like, swimming around and stuff. So, it would be nice if you could actually make it look like that, you know, with a stand. As for articulation, sadly there's nothing at the head. This is one of the things I really wish it had, because the mono eye can't move. It's just static. The only way to get in a different position is if you rip off the sticker and put it somewhere else, which is pretty awful. I really wish that could actually do something, but the rest is really nice. So we have a ball joint here at the shoulder, which can raise up not that far. We have all these segments here on their own individual ball joint, and we also have a actual elbow here at the base. So all of that in unison gives you, I think, the standard 90-degree elbow bend, but what more would you really want from a GOK? And I think even the real grade has that same amount, so can't really complain there. Like earlier, we saw the hands can actually open, which is a very, very nice detail, especially for a high grade, especially one from 1999. These can also rotate, which is nice. Also very solid. This kit as a whole is solid, although some joints, because they're all in ball joints, can be loose. But it's still pretty solid because it's all in ABS for like the inner frame, which, yes, this does actually kind of have an inner frame. If we pull apart this, you can see, at least in the torso, there's just this one big black chunky ABS part, which runs throughout the entire thing and acts as an inner frame. We also actually have an inner frame for the arms as well, kind of. You basically layer on all these parts. You have this little tiny black joint bit, which is made of the same tough ABS, and then you just put this armor bit on top of it, and then that acts as an inner frame. So if you pull off all of these, you probably could have a full inner frame on a GOK, which is already really cool, but then also, again, I've said this a bunch of times, but 1999, and it's a high grade, and it has an inner frame. Anyways, back to the rest of the articulation. This is even more impressive. It has an ab crunch. That is insane. That's all the way to the front. Yeah, that's better than the real grade Sazabi. All the way up to the back. Even better. Side to side. Also pretty nice, and all the movement looks natural as well. There aren't any gaps or anything. Because this bit is a separate part. And then for waist swivel, we do have one. It is tight, but can go left and right. Can't go too much, but you wouldn't really need a waist swivel. Oh wait, you do, because the head can't move. But again, it is 1999. You have to cut some slack. Anyway, so a lot of articulation there. The legs, these I think they could have done a bit better. You get, like, without moving the legs out, that's your kick to the front. If you do move them out like this, you can get a bit more, but that makes it pop off, because this leg, for some reason, just this one leg, is very, like, kind of loose. It has a tendency to pop off. So yeah, you don't really get much movement to the front. You have to move it outwards like that, if you want to get anything. But, you know, the joint's probably going to fall off. And I really wish that these bits here could separate, like on the real grade, because that would allow for more kicks to the front. And since you can't get on any like swing poses like this because no stand, it really limits your posing options. So yeah, really not nice, but the rest is, well, nice. You get the splits, full splits, even though it is just on a ball joint. These bits are on ball joints as well, like usual. And we also have a joint here, and this is really nice. This little piece in here is a separate piece, so it recesses into there, which is a really nice detail, and it gives you your 90-degree bend, plus a bit more if you utilize all these ball joints. So you can get a lot of range of motion from that. And as for the legs, or the feet, they're just on ball joints, so you can get that all the way to the front, so our GOK is a smooth criminal. And then to the back, wow. Oh, the legs are running, wow. That's it all the way to the back. And then for the inwards motion, you can still get a pretty good amount from that. Wow. And again, these are just simple ball joints in here with big clunky feet and armor around them. You still get a huge range of motion. And one more thing, back kick bits here, they can kind of wiggle around because they're just on these little poly caps or pegs, and you can kind of use that to twist them a bit. They don't go out that much, but still pretty nice, I guess, to have like a little tiny bit of articulation. And as for size, this is a pretty chunky boy, as you can see. It's a tiny bit taller than like your standard size 18-meter tall mobile suit like the EO Frame Shiden. but it definitely has a lot more bulk to it. And like almost the height of the unicorn in unicorn mode, and of course it's dwarfed by a Sosby, like everything is. Yeah, so that's it for my review of the rail grade Sosby, or not rail grade Sosby. Yeah, so that's it for my review of the high grade Zagok. This is a surprisingly good kit and is very underrated, especially for something that was released in, I said this like 50,000 times, but 1999. Oh, and did I mention this thing is only like $10? And that's Canadian, by the way, so if you're in like America, it's gonna be even cheaper. It's dirt cheap. Also, it's only made up of like 4 runners, that's counting the polycaps. So it's a very quick and easy build, and it's very fun and unique as well. Also, because the build is so fast and because this thing is dirt cheap, it would be very good to just army build. Yeah, this is a very good kit, and I highly recommend it. Yes, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then note. And, yeah, bye.